years ago when I first saw computer animation, I saw this potential for creating something that we've never seen or experienced before. And you can certainly do that with hand animation, but it just pulled me in, you know. Now, of course, I think any In school, I studied design. My friends were painters, so I kept taking art classes. So it's really like a confused designer who thought, oh, art can really make design better. And I just realized that really I'm an artist and not really a designer. Then I just realized, not really a designer. In '84, I took a class with Gene Youngblood, who wrote this book called Expanded Cinema, which was a lot about structuralist film and the first computer animation.
I make a rather modest proposal that, that world peace, human liberty, and a healthy environment can only be achieved through a communications revolution.
All social problems are communication problems and cannot be understood other than as communication problems.
And my head exploded and I knew I have to do this somehow. So I actually dropped out of school and went into Hollywood and learned how to use computers because there were no classes way back in the olden days. And so really since then I've been working with media. I started out making films and then kind of figured out how I could work with computers. But it was a long process.
You get lost in looking at the images. You lose your sense of time. You lose a sense of the space that you're in because you enter the picture plane absolutely literally. It surrounds you. And it's very exciting.
I'm not really used to art that makes me feel so peaceful. It moves in and out of your brain like sort of like dancing worms.
There's two pieces in this exhibition. The first one is called Left Clavicle, which you can see behind, a bit of it behind me. And that's sort of a spin-off from a piece I had at the Getty, which was a commission. It's basically an oculus detail at the Getty, and an oculus for architects is an eye of God. And I thought, well, perhaps this is sort of like this eye of God, so what can I do, you know, what can I do with the idea of God? And then since then I've been making various body parts of God over time and space throughout the world. So one's an elbow, this is a left clavicle, there's another one called Oracle, which is a left ear. Daisy Bell is the other piece in the exhibition. They're both actually made this year. Daisy Bell is, I suppose, it's related to other bodies of work where I've been making more and more flowers, and I've been looking at the meaning of these flowers and how they've been used throughout the year, you know, throughout history, and kept running across flowers that were poisonous, and I thought, well, I'm going to make this piece with poisonous flowers. The last body was with wedding flowers. Another was with Victorian flowers. And so there's all these flowers. I'm doing a series with flowers in film. There's so many different categories that I thought was kind of curious. I think both these pieces play with dematerializing the architecture with virtual imagery. So what happens is the architecture is transformed by the projection, and in turn the virtual imagery is transformed by the architecture, and it forms this kind of experiential space. The people who invent the technology, the programmers, the people who work for the software companies, I see them as collaborators in my work. And as they develop new tools, my work evolves. So it's almost like a sort of like a Duchampian found object in a way. It's, you know, this, well, not quite, but it's, you know, it's constantly evolving with the technological innovation, certainly. I would hope people don't first think technology. I would hope they first think about the art. And yeah, it's more interesting. I hope.
Uptown the streets in a calming way, and outside as warm as a bed with a maid, and I find it's all the waves and rays that makes the days go on this way.